Hello, we are talking about recording transfers between accounts in QuickBooks Online. So if you have a transfer, say from your checking to your savings, or you have a payment to a credit card, say from your business checking over to your business credit card, those are considered transfers. And it's a transfer if it's movement of money from one QuickBooks account to another. We want to be very careful with how we categorize these because this is commonly done incorrectly and it causes issues in the books. So just always think through, if you have a transfer of money from one account to another within QuickBooks, then you need to record it as a transfer. You don't want to add it directly to the books. So let's just look at some examples. We're in the savings account here, and let's say this was a transfer from the checking to the savings. So we can see the money was received here in the savings account. So all we have to do is drop it down, and instead of categorizing or adding, we want to mark the record as transfer radio button, and then simply choose the account that it was transferred from. And so that's the checking. It went from checking to savings. You can put a memo if you'd like, and then we would hit add. So I can't show you the second part of this because there's no real transaction in the sample account. But when you create a transfer, there's always two sides of the transaction, right? There's money that went out of one account and into another. So what we would want to do is grab, and you can always start from either side of the transaction. It doesn't matter as long as you initially say that it's a transfer. But you want to go to the other account, and you'll basically just be matching it up to that transfer. So in this case, we would see the $200 went out of the checking, and we would see the match, and then we would just double check it and hit match. So just remember with the transfer that there's always two sides of the transaction. You create the transfer, and then you match it up wherever the money went out or came in on the other side. We also want to do this process for credit card payments, and there's a special credit card button within QuickBooks Online. So let's just take in our MasterCard here, let's just say this $89.99 was a payment from our checking account. So again, we can just drop it down, and instead of saying transfer, we say record as credit card payment. But if you do use transfer, that's fine too, both work. But we can use the specific credit card payment option. And then it says credit card payment from, so we'll say in this case that it was the checking account. And you can choose a vendor if you'd like, that would be your credit card company. And then you would just hit add. So same thing, you would have to go over to the checkings, that's where the transfer came from, find where the money went out, make sure it matches up, double check it, and then hit match. So that is the whole process for recording a transfer. So the main takeaways are, find a transfer transaction, record it as a transfer, go to the other side of that transaction, match it up, and then you're all good. So most importantly, you don't want to add any transfers directly. You want to make sure that they are recorded as a proper transfer.